If you stay stuck exactly where you are right now, it's because you did not take the step of faith. It's because you did not believe in yourself enough to move forward and try this thing. And unfortunately, you doing that and deciding to stay exactly where you are is the reason why you will never help who you're meant to help. It's the reason why you'll never become the best version of yourself that you're meant to become.
Welcome to Success Spectrum Podcast, where new entrepreneurs break free from limiting beliefs, build unshakable financial confidence, and step boldly into the life and business they were meant to create.
There's a question that I've seen many entrepreneurs come across, and I myself have come across, and it has stopped me in my tracks, or it has stopped me from even starting the thing to begin with. And the powerful question that I'm referring to is what if? What if I get 1,000 customers or 100 customers tomorrow and I don't have the system, the structure to support it? What if I get so many customers that I no longer have time to take care of my responsibilities, my friends, my family, my loved ones, my personal health and fitness journey? What if I have no free time left? Or a big one, what if I put all this time, energy, effort, and money into this thing and nobody shows up? Nobody wants the service. That's not a fear of failing. That's the fear of it working. And not enough people talk about this. Failure is the fear that everyone talks about. But another big killer is the what if it works. See, failing is familiar. You've survived setbacks before, and praise God, you're still standing. You've been through some tough things. We all have. But success of the unknown, you've never lived that version of yourself yet. You've never lived that version of yourself who has succeeded in this thing. So that's what we're fearful of. It's the unknown. If we can't work it out, we don't know what's behind the corner, we're afraid of it. When we were children, we were afraid of the dark. Why? Because it's unknown. We don't know what's in the dark. Now that we're adults, we know there's nothing there. We know we can look under the bed or in the closet and there's no monster. But when we were children, it was an unknown. We are now afraid of the unknown of success. Yes, failure in a lot of cases. However, another big thing we want to point our spotlight at today is the fear of the success, the unknown, the what if. See, the unknown is what your brain treats as a threat, not exactly a negative outcome, not just a negative outcome. Some of you are stalling on something right now and calling it strategy, but it's not strategy. It's just the what if that your brain has not yet worked out. You still think there's monsters in the dark. You still think there's vampires in the dark. And we have to shine a spotlight on it, which is what we're going to aim to do today so that we can see that there's really nothing there. So the question to ask yourself is, what's the what if that you've been telling yourself is just you being responsible? You've been telling yourself this what if over and over, and you really think, okay, I'm being responsible because I want to work this out before I launch, before I continue, before I really start. There's three main what ifs that entrepreneurs come across over and over again. One of them is the what if it works too fast. Another way to phrase this is the capacity fear. What if I'm unable to keep up with the demand? What if I make promises that I'm unable to deliver on? What if I look like a fraud because I wasn't ready? Here's the thing, capacity problems are solvable. It's just a lack of customers, though. That's not solvable. It doesn't matter what you have set up. If you have a lack of customers, then you have no real business. Like I always say, obscurity is the biggest issue. And if you continue with this capacity fear and you never launch, you're never going to get customers. They're never going to know what you do so they can't come to you for your service. The second one is, what if it costs me everything else? Another way to phrase this is the trade-off fear. What if it eats up my time, my marriage, my health? What if I lose the parts of my life that I like? You get to choose the pace. Newsflash, you get to choose the pace, how fast you move, how quickly you do this thing, and what you give up or don't give up. Some sacrifices are required, disclaimer, but you get to choose it. Building a business doesn't mean trading your whole life for it. The people who do that, they end up crashing. They end up with burnout. They end up not doing or sustaining for very long because it wasn't built on a foundation that was meant to last. The ones who build something lasting design it to fit around what matters to them, not the other way around. You have to build the foundation. If without that foundation, again, your house is going to tumble, it's going to slide. It's not built on bedrock. And that's what we need here. The last one, number 3, what if I put in all of my effort, my time, my money, my energy, and nobody shows up? It's a real thought. It's a real concern. The wasted effort fear. This is another way we can talk about this one, right? It's wasted effort in disguise. The fear of success in reverse. That's what this is. What if success is not for me? Some of us are asking ourselves that question, and that's a whole other topic for a whole other series of podcast episodes. which we will probably dive into. But what if success is not for me? That's what we're asking ourselves. And honestly, nobody showing up doesn't mean you failed. It means you got data. You didn't have this data before. I'm running ads right now to get some data. I'm not necessarily worried about anybody signing up for this service that I'm running the ads for. Great if they do, wonderful, of course, because now that can cover the cost of the ad. However, if nobody shows up for it, I'm completely okay with that, because now I have the data that is needed for version 2.0, which will target the correct people and get those who need this service and really want this service to purchase it. They're going to accept the offer. It's not for everybody. So I don't want everybody showing up. I don't want the wrong people showing up, because that's going to waste my time and my energy, and it's going to waste their time and their energy. That's not what we're here for. We're here to help a certain person, certain people. And to do that, I need to make sure I get the right data so that I can then push it to the right people. So again, nobody showing up does not mean you failed. It just means you have data, and every business you admire, they took the data and then they iterated through the different versions that are required. That's where they started. They took the information. They didn't start with some big, Amazon didn't start as Amazon. All right, let's just put it that way. Canva did not start as Canva. They started in a different way. They started with data. And that's what you have if nobody shows up, but you still ran this thing. You now have information, which is vital. See, the 3 what ifs, they're not problems with your business. They're stories that your brain keeps telling you to keep you exactly where you are so you don't take the next step, because we love comfort. And our brain, honestly, in one way, is designed to keep us comfortable and away from danger, away from the unknown. So yes, you're telling yourself these things, or your brain is telling yourself these things to keep you where you are. Here are some examples of people who said yes to the what if, who moved forward regardless of it. Melanie Perkins, the one who started Canva. She started Canva at 19 in her mom's living room in Perth, Australia. She pitched over 100 investors, and guess what? She got rejected by almost all of them. Every what if it doesn't work reason was on the table for her. What if I don't get an investor? What if I don't have enough money? What if this thing doesn't work the way I thought it would, this idea? She launched anyway with co-founders and stripped down versions of the product. It wasn't Canva when it first launched. It was a completely stripped down version of it. Today, you can see what Canva is. You can see where it's at. It is valued at tens of billions of dollars, and she is one of the youngest female billionaires in the world. The what if did not stop her. It answered, she answered the what ifs by searching. She started to search for the people and the things that she needed, but she started, that's the main thing, with a stripped down version, not a 100% complete project, which a lot of you are waiting on. Trust me, I know, I'm the same way. I want it to be completed before I launch it. Guess what? It'll never be completed unless you launch it. Damon John, to give you another example, he started Fubu in his mother's house, right, in Queens. And I think he started with $40 in materials, if I'm not mistaken. He stitched together hats and he sold them on the street corner. His mother, from what I've heard, forgive me if this fact is wrong, but his mother remortgaged the house a couple of times so that she can fund the business for him or with him. But as you know, Fubu is something that is a huge brand. It would not have been this way if he did not keep going and build one of the biggest streetwear brands in the world. It would not be that today if he stopped, if he let the what ifs get in the way. And now, of course, he's a Shark Tank investor with a multi-million-dollar portfolio. What if it works turned into what if he never tried? That's the real question. What if he never tried? Because if he didn't try, Fubu would not be a thing. You would not be able to use Canva to design your ads, your social posts, or whatever, your presentations whatever you use it for. You would not be able to use it if Melanie Perkins didn't start. We see these big brands and we wonder where they started and how they started. We say they're so lucky, good for them. No. How about you stop letting the what if stop you so that we can have other people look at you and say, oh, you're so lucky. Look at you. Look what you did, because you didn't let the what ifs get in your way and you didn't let them be an excuse. The people who built what you admire had the same what ifs you do. The difference is they just chose to find out instead of staying stuck. They chose to take the steps and see what's behind the curtain, what's in the dark, instead of staying exactly where you are or where they were.
Apex Coaching with Kadeem has helped me drastically in my coaching business. As a new entrepreneur who's juggling masters, a family of 4, and also getting new clientele when it comes to real estate, he's really helped me streamline and understand the clarity and also the need for financial stability and stewardship in order to grow. This growth has allowed me to enhance and help my family out in multiple ways. It helped my family out before we was even making any more money. So if he can help me with what I have without growing it, and then later I see it growing, that's a sign of a winner right there. So I implore you to join. I implore you to take the resources. I implore you to get the book. I implore you to employ Apex.
3 simple steps to figure out and solve for this what if thing. Like anything in life, awareness is key. We need to know what it is. We need to know what we're looking at. So the what if, yes, write it down and be specific. Don't write it down generically. What if I fail? No. What if I get 5 clients this week and I'm unable to deliver for all of them? That's a specific what if, not what if I fail. Number 2, answer it like you were to ask a friend, or if a friend were to ask you, because you're going to genuinely want to help out your friend, and your friend's going to genuinely want to help out you, I hope, if they're a real friend. So if your friend asks you that exact same question, what would you tell them? Probably something practical. And you'd help them think through it, because again, you want to provide that assistance. Apply that same strategy to your own question and be the one that helps yourself. Or again, ask a coach, a mentor, or a friend that real question. Hey, have you ever thought of if you started a business and 5 people didn't show up? Or, I'm doing this thing and I'm concerned or worried if 5 clients show up and I don't have the structure, system, the capacity to serve all 5 of them. And hear what they tell you. And number 3 is to take the smallest move that tests the fear. You don't need to start the whole business per se right now. The smallest move that gets you information. 1 post, 1 conversation, 1 product, 1 pitch. The what if loses its power the second you start collecting the data instead of imagining the outcomes. That's where the real concern is. Our brains are so powerful. We are imagining things that are so unlikely to happen. There's 5% of chance of this thing happening. We don't know if it's going to happen unless you start. And it's very, again, like I just said, unlikely to happen. But our brains are going to make it seem like it's the focal point. It's 90% sure, 90% chance this thing's going to happen. No, it's only 5%. Start, get the data, iterate, and see what happens. If you don't start, you'll never see what happens. You'll never know if it's going to work exactly the way you thought it would. It's like you're not going to work exactly the way you thought it would, but you never know if it's going to work way better than you thought it would. And likely it's going to. Instead of getting the 5 clients and not be set up, you might get the 5 clients and figure it out. And those 5 clients might become your loyal advocates because you started this thing and they were the first 5. Fear shrinks when it meets evidence. You don't have evidence yet because you have not yet started. So as much as I'd like to tell you that you have the information and now everything is fixed, unfortunately, the what ifs don't go away just from you hearing them named in an episode of a podcast. They go away when you take 1 move that proves that you can handle it. So pick the loudest what if in your mind right now. And like I said, write it down, answer it, take 1 small action this week and test it. Through the testing, that's how we iterate. And that's how we get to where we want to go. That's how these big businesses exist. That's how you stop letting what ifs run the business you haven't yet started. The fear of success isn't dramatic. It's quiet. It sounds like being responsible, but it's like it's waiting for the right time. That's what you're telling yourself, and wanting to be ready. Yes, you do want to be ready. Yes, you want to make sure it's the right time, quote unquote, but underneath it, it's the same thing. You've never lived the version of yourself where it works. That's scarier than staying stuck where you are.
What if shopping could earn you cash instead of just costing you? You've been stuck in the cycle, tap, swipe, spend, watching your paycheck just disappear. But one day, after you stumbled onto this app called Rakuten, you ask yourself, why am I paying full price when I don't have to? But then you think, maybe it's just another gift. Then one of your friends tell you about this app called Rakuten, who makes them money and gives them cash back and rewards for thousands of stores every time they make a purchase that they were made anyway. You try it once, you discover hidden deals, compare prices, and you start winning. Shopping becomes a strategy. Every tap pays you back, and you still get what you want. You share Rakuten with your friends, watch your income grow, and become more financially confident. Download the Rakuten app today and keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket.
The fear of success isn't dramatic. It's very quiet, like a whisper. It sounds like being responsible. It sounds like you're waiting for the right time, like you're waiting to be ready. And yes, being ready is important, and the right time, quote unquote, is important as well. But you'll never know what it looks like until you start, because underneath that, it's the same thing. You've never lived the version of yourself where this works, and that's scarier than staying where you are. So here's the hard truth. You're going to find out either way. You'll find out by trying, or you'll find out by watching somebody else do this 5 years down the road while you're still sitting on the sideline. You might as well start. You might as well pick the path where you're the one who finds out. Because I'm telling you, that feeling of regret, that feeling of if only I asked this person. You know how many people in business that I was supposed to ask to get into business with me that I didn't ask, that I found out somebody else asked in the same office or in an office down the street. And now that person's doing well for themselves. I could have been the one to give that person that opportunity, and therefore we could have built together. However, I let the what ifs get in my way. So again, what is the what if you've been carrying? And what's the one move this week that you can take that would answer it? Take that one move. If you've been carrying this what if for a while and you don't know where to start, take the free Apex Blueprint quiz. It's a quiz to help you figure out your entrepreneur archetype. It'll help you figure out how you're wired, where you tend to get stuck, and how to build around it. You'll get a free PDF with your results, real testimonials, and the next steps for you specifically. There's no cost. It just takes a few minutes, and it'll give you clarity on what to do next. Go to apexaffiliation.com/quiz or click the link in the description below. One final takeaway for you is the scariest what if isn't what if it doesn't work. It's what if you never take the chance? What if you never tried to figure it out? If you stay stuck exactly where you are right now, it's because you did not take the step of faith. It's because you did not believe in yourself enough to move forward and try this thing. And unfortunately, you doing that and deciding to stay exactly where you are is the reason why you will never help who you're meant to help. It's the reason why you'll never become the best version of yourself that you're meant to become. Don't let those what ifs overpower you. Take those steps, make the moves, and see yourself successful as where you want to be. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a spectrum. So keep evolving. Kadeem here, and I'll see you in the next one.